Watch this full series at the links in the description below and subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch new mental health videos every week. When it comes to looking at your mental health, your workplace environment plays a critical role. It's where you get paid, it's where you spend a lot of your time, so it's no wonder that for many people it can be the source of a lot of mental challenges. Dr. Ramani is here, clinical psychologist and MedCircle doctor, to help us understand how we can facilitate a workplace culture that is open for communication, that's transparent, and that it breaks down the stigma of mental health.
So I mean, for adults, for many adults, work is where they spend the majority of their waking hours. So having mentally healthy workspaces becomes absolutely critical, not just for the health and well-being of a company, but for the health and well-being of our world at large. You know, in an ideal world, what we're doing is we're fostering workplaces that are respectful, empathic, and compassionate. And you can still be a very competitive workplace but have that kind of empathic, collaborative leadership. In fact, there's more and more leadership research showing the value of collaborative research, value of collaborative leadership, bringing people in and helping them take ownership of where they work. But this is a top-down issue. So the fact of the matter is that destigmatizing mental illness and putting value on seeking out mental health services, that it's a good thing and it's a normal thing, no different than going for your annual physical or going to a dentist for your teeth cleaning, that when we can start lifting some of that as a society as a whole, that's obviously going to benefit workplaces. Larger employers are in a position to really have workplace training, orientation, in-service, online training, seminars, sessions, wellness programs, all of that focused on bringing mental health into the conversation, realizing that we all do have tough times and sometimes are tougher than others, and there are times when more attention is needed, and that you can still thrive in this workplace, absolutely, despite having those challenges in your life. As you go down further to people who may be self-employed, there's different kinds of challenges, a sense of isolation, loneliness, and knowing that you are the sole source of income. So if you're off your A game, that can have real ramifications for you or your family financially. So the mental health challenges around work and workspaces vary depending on the workspace. Small businesses may not have the budget to really bring into place really robust mental health education programs, but there are ways they can do that. They can bring those into smaller employers. So I think it's about saying this conversation is okay to have.
Yeah, and we're not just having this conversation because we want everyone to be happy and feel good at work. Of course, that's a big part of it. The other part of this is that there is money to be made for businesses when they care for their employees correctly in regards to their mental health. At the end of this episode, Dr. Ramani will reveal the amount of lost productivity per year from depression, okay? Guess in the comments what it is right now, and at the end of this video, Dr. Ramani will reveal the actual number. I'll tell you it's more than 1 million though. It's more than 1 million. You can get that little tidbit. If we can't get management or leadership on the top down to create this type of environment and this stigma, what can middle management employees do to kind of foster this better culture?
You know, to managers, I'd say know your employees, because listen, even if you are a manager who's like, listen, I ain't no shrink, you are somebody who wants productivity, and your employees are a resource. So you want to cultivate that resource and protect that resource and not run it into the ground. And the best way to do that is build really strong, solid, collaborative relationships with them, so they really feel safeguarded, they feel protected, they also feel supported in the workplace. So part of that is just being aware of them, knowing what they're about, learning about them on the good days. Like, who are they about? What are their values? What's important to them? What matters to them in life? Because I'll tell you, the more you know them, the more you might be able to see, like, yeah, something's different with them. Yeah. Should I check in with them? And listen, not everybody who's struggling with mental health issues in the workplace are you going to witness it. They may show up, they may do their job, they may go home, and you don't know what they're doing at night when they go home. I cannot tell you how many clients I've worked with who say, I'm able to get it together, do my 9 to 5, and I come home and I crawl into bed. So no one would know, and they get up the next day and they do it. So this is sometimes also a very silent struggle for some people who are concerned about stigma, who are concerned about not being perfect, who are concerned about guilt, who are experiencing shame and all of that. So I think it's on a manager to really pay attention. If they're noticing shifts, say, how are you doing? Or perhaps even for managers to regularly just check in. How is everything going? Make it collaborative. That is one way to try to get ahead of this, even if leadership or larger structures aren't trickling down a really healthy message about mental health.
Yes. Well, in our series that Dr. Ramani and I filmed about mental health in the workplace, you had a lot amazing, great takeaways for management and leadership teams, but you also had this to say. Take an inside look. This last project you had has destroyed me. I know we're in the middle of this one, but I can't do anything right now because I'm so overwhelmed. If they get that response, but as a manager, you really need them for the next 3 days because you have some big proposal or thing that can't wait. How do you handle that?
Part of it is then to work with, again, it's the really important thing here is if you have an employee who's struggling or experiencing mental health issues, don't just write them off as some sort of fragile, shrinking violet. Like I said, no more than people struggling with any number of things. They're thinking this is harder for me than usual. If a person says that, you can work collaboratively with them on a plan, saying, "Okay, I'm hearing you. Now here's the thing: you are essential for X and Y part of this. Okay, can you give me a sense? Like, let's cut away all the extra stuff for you. How can we make it easier for you to participate in this so we can get it over the finish line and then ensure on the back end we can get some time built in for you?" It's really about addressing it structurally. What kind of support can I give you? What can we expect of you? Know that it's okay. Reassure them. It's going to be okay. Let me know what we can do here. And then support them the best you can through that process. And on the backside, really try to build in some time for them to kind of get their feet back under them again and figure out, might they need some time off? Might they need to go out on disability? That is something they may need to work collaboratively with either in someone in HR and somebody you have in that office. Could be something they work on with you as their manager. But that especially if this person's been a valuable part of your team, you don't want to burn them out. You want to help them recover. But if it is make or break time and you need them for something and they're the only one who holds that information, try to figure out a way to just narrow the scope of that to something where they can stay involved, which will actually be good for them. It'll help them feel agentic and useful and like they're still contributing without burning them out further.
You can watch that entire series at medcircle.com or just use the links below this video. Now, Dr. Ramani, you also have a gazillion jobs. You're not just clinical psychologist, you're author, speaker, professor, all these things. So you've been in a position of fostering healthy work environments, including mental health. Yes. What have you found that has worked really well for you?
Noticing people. Not being shy.
That's so big. That is so big. And it's, Oprah says at the end of every interview she does, the person that she interviews asks them the same exact question. And it's always some version of, was that okay? Did I do okay? Was that good? They want to be validated. They want to be noticed, even in that capacity.
Well, even a powerful meeting technique, and something actually I've been privileged to be in the governance of the American Psychological Association, and something we've done in our meetings there, and obviously psychologists, we're trying to get it right. We'd have a check-in on both sides of the meeting. We'd check in the morning. How's everyone feeling? Is everyone feeling okay? And then most people say, I'm fine. Some people would be honest. They'd say, I'm struggling with X or Y right now. Again, it's psychologists. But at the end of the day was the more important check-in. Just checking in. How does everyone feel about how everything unfolded today? That was the space where someone will say, you know what? I felt a little disrespected or I felt unheard. Like I said, we're psychologists.
Isn't that such a psychologist thing to do? To open a meeting with, and how are you feeling?
How are you doing? I do wish more people did that because I think it would really be a place to manage things like microaggressions. It would be a place for people to ensure they feel heard. I think so much of what happens in workplace meetings is people may feel railroaded. People may feel like they can't speak. And that can contribute to ongoing stress. A person who may be experiencing mental health issues, maybe managing at a given point in time, so it could address some of that. But I think, though, it is also, I remember specifically a few times, interestingly, people reached out to me about someone on a team I was overseeing. And then that was definitely prompting me to say, okay, let me talk to this person, say, do you feel comfortable? Say, it seems like, things are different.
Someone was reaching out to you about someone on your team about their mental health.
About this person on the team's mental health.
Okay.
They're saying, and strangely enough, once it was a partner of someone, they said, I am such and such's partner. I am really worried. She would never have the courage to come talk to you. Mm-hmm. You have my permission to say I sent this email. Mm. And I did. I said, I brought her aside after a meeting. I said, I got this email. He gave me permission. Are you okay? Because it was one of those things where I wasn't seeing her regularly enough. And she was very grateful for that. It could have gone another way, Kyle. I'm not going to sit here saying, oh, it's all love and light when you work with me. That could have gone another way.
Of course.
And so, but I think it's noticing people and saying, there's this, I know what this person is, and this isn't them. Something's off. Could sometimes be wrong. Sometimes they broke up with a boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Remember, I work with younger people because I work a lot with students. Mm-hmm. But even when I work with more senior colleagues, again, we're psychologists. I'm amazed at how transparent my colleagues will be about lived experience. So I do occupy a different space. I have been in corporate spaces, and I'm like, ooh-wee. And it is very much more conservative, much more cards close to your chest, which makes it harder. I think that cultivates and fosters a culture of shame around mental health issues, a place of weakness, a place where there's blood in the water, and that's an opportunity to just sort of almost say, okay, now we can go after this person's weakness. Those kinds of shifts require societally wholesale changes. I think individual employers can take on that responsibility, though, of creating better, safer, and healthier workspaces. And I'll be frank with you, Kyle, and this is me being very cynical, to all the managers and workplaces out there, let me tell you what is expensive. What is expensive is when you neglect or even exacerbate the mental health needs of a person you work with and the potential litigation costs around that. So even if you're not going to buy in fully to my message and you're all about profit, I will tell you, you want to watch profit, safeguard your employees, because I'm going to cost you a lot of money. And I hate that it has to be that cynical a message, but that's the reality of this.
It's the truth. And I look at this as not even really cynical. I look at this as, how great is this that all reasons point to this being a good idea?
You better believe it. I even say, listen, you want to have your mean-spirited, toxic workplace, you do you, but let me tell you, this could end up costing you tens of millions in court. Right. And I know that you may not care about your employees, but you do care about money. Right. I am going to figure out any way I can to get in to ensure people support their employees.
That's right. No matter what your priority is, this is a good idea for you.
It really, really is.
And it helps everybody.
It does. I mean, for such a profit-driven world, when I really stopped to think, you want profit? Treat people well. You'll get profit.
That's right.
More than enough.
That's right.
And it's funny to me how that, and I think there are employees out there who can sometimes feel disposable. Anytime management or leadership can do something to push back against that sense, anytime you can, for each individual employee, find a way to value them. And again, that can be in a whole slew of ways. And for employees who may be experiencing mental health issues, whether it's noticing them, giving them safe spaces, giving them the time they need, protecting them as they go through that. Listen, it's good for your bottom line. Even if you're not feeling like this is a humanitarian gesture on your part, it's good for your company, it's good for your company's culture, it's good for the other employees there, and it's just, again, it's good for your bottom line. And if that's the argument people need, then they've got that. But this is a huge crisis in our world right now, as people work harder, work more, and they need this kind of support in their workplace. Yeah. I just wish managers and leadership and corporate executives and presidents and all of that in companies and schools and all that understood how much value they would get from supporting the mental health of their employees. It may be the single most profitable thing that they could do.
Boom. Are you interested in taking your company's culture to the next level, getting your employees educated on mental health, helping them get the next best step for them? Well, MedCircle can help. If you're interested in any of those types of offerings, send me an email, kyle@medcircle.com. I would love to see how we could help you. MedCircle has created an amazing culture for us, for all of our employees here. And we want to do that same for other companies who are open to it, who think mental health is serious and sees the benefits of having someone like Dr. Ramani share this information. So again, kyle@medcircle.com. I'd be happy to chat with you and see what we can do for you there. Now, Dr. Ramani, how much do we lose on average every year from loss of productivity from depression?
$44 billion.
With a B.
With a B.
Billion
$44
with a
billion.
B. That's on average per year.
So even if you don't want to care about people and you care about dollars and cents, them's a lot of dollars and cents.
That's a lot of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dr. Ramani, you're just always so great. And I know I say that every time, but what else am I going to say? You're mediocre and then cancel.
Yeah,
I always
that's
say you're
and you know what? And I'd be okay with that.
I wouldn't be okay with that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber here on YouTube. If you've not joined MedCircle, go to medcircle.com, give us a shot, take a look. There's a lot of great stuff there. I'm very confident you will get benefit from it. I'm Kyle Kittleson. Remember, whatever you're going through, you got this. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for new episodes and new series every week. And to access exclusive mental health videos that we only release at medcircle.com, check out the links below.